Yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Graph champs, we live, graph champs. You heard? Graph champs, we live. Shit alive, baby. The first episode, yo, salute X, I see you. The first episode of season 5, bro. We hit season 5. It's gonna show backwards though, because of the flip. Yo, salute everybody. Oh shit, look, Mech 5, nigga. Mech 5 and Tay, BKA, nigga. Yo, salute Mech 5, what it is. Oh shit, Slit Ash, that's what it is. Yo, this is episode 1 of season 5. We starting off the year. Salute Lil Rob, my brother, with a motherfucking GOAT. You know what I'm saying? A big time Brooklyn, you know, train slash, you know, kind of street era, you know what I mean? Big Nash, BBK, man, you know what I'm saying? Throw the flames up, yo, share the shit alive, and shit. Let me throw on my theme music real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Diablo, SR the General, full blast the beat, God, grab, chant, yeah, grab, chant,
hey, yo, what up, Sax?
yeah, grab, chant,
Kill all rats.
just sound like shut out the grab chant,
Big Mach.
shut out the grab chant,
ODMBK.
shut out the grab chant,
Yeah. Yo, salute buttons.
Welcome to
Shit
the
alive,
grab
shit
chants.
alive.
We appreciate the love and support for all the grab games.
Shit
The
alive,
most amazing
baby.
and iconic artists out here smashing it from the train yards to the rooftops to the storefronts, highways, catch a wreck. SR the General, he be going crazy, bro, from his Instagram account, Supreme Clientele Radio. Interviewing all the icons, the ones
alive,
that
baby,
made the
shit
way.
alive.
Salute to all the fallen legends, the ones that set the stage. Moment of silence, let us remember those. Whether they family or they were friend or foe. Hate them or love them, let's show them some respect. Major contribution in hip-hop, grab champs to the death. Ready and willing, never scared to fry.
Never.
Chancing the odds of getting up, prepared to rise.
Get alive,
Super
baby.
talented vandals, never scared to die. Let's show them love while they breathing. Go ahead and share alive. So tell a friend to go and tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Interviews are dope from the start up to the end. Let's show them love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your storyline. So tell a friend to go and tell a friend.
Yes.
Interviews are dope from the start up to the end. Let's show him love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your storyline. That's all the God General, grab champs.
Yo, salute, everybody. Please share the live. Oh shit, salute Too Little, you heard? East New York in the building, man. Salute Cade, motherfucking Kings, my nigga, motherfucking A1s, Roach. Yes, I want to start off by saying rest in peace to Louis 167, bro. The graffiti world took another giant loss. You know what I mean? Salute to Louis. Yo, what up, Poet? Yo, what up, RD? Salute. Salute to the whole 357. You heard King shit in here. Salute Coley. You know what I'm saying? Free my nigga Send. Yeah, we want to say, salute Juice Branch G. You already know what it is. Motherfucking G Stack is Sense. I want to give a super rest in peace to Louis 167, bro. One of the greats, one of the street bombing greats, one of graph greats, just like all around crazy dope ass human being, bro. I can't believe it. I can't say it enough, bro. We gotta take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? Yo, salute Joust, salute Hayes. It was terrible news, bro. You know, Louis is one of them dudes, bro, and it always will be, and he will never be forgotten, and his name will always ring bells in this motherfucking genre. You know what I'm saying? He helped shape street bombing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just kill streets, he impacted the culture, my nigga. Salute, Dio. So yo, rest in paint, Big Louis, bro. For real. And I want to say rest in peace to my uncle Theo Andy that passed away, man. Theo, I love you, bro. I know you looking down on us, man, and you know, I just got another angel in heaven looking over me. You know what I'm saying? And the family, bro. Love you. You know what I mean? Always gonna miss you, bro. It sucks to say, man. It just is. It's crazy, bro. The way life is, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Rule and Louis, man. My condolences to their immediate family. You know what I'm saying, and friends. But Louis always treated me like a brother, straight like a brother, man. For real, for real, for real. But now, you know what I'm saying? Tonight is all about motherfucking Nash BBK. What y'all niggas know about Nash BBK? I'm trying to tell y'all, boy, this is some legendary king shit y'all niggas is about to hear, boy. You know what I mean? So without further ado, Nash, you in here? Where you at, Nash? I didn't even see Nash in here. Hold up. Where you at, Nash? Let me see. Yo, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do y'all hear me again? Yo, do y'all hear me? Still no sound? How the fuck? Yo. Y'all hear me now? Yeah? All right, cool. Do y'all hear me clearly? Yo, salute JC3, salute Viral Monarch. We gotta get you. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, I'm good. Accept right here. Boom. I accepted it again from you. You should be jumping on the screen soon. Come on, Nash. We gotta make this shit happen, kid. I accepted it. Boom, accept. Go live with Explorer, dude. Boom, I pressed it. He should be jumping on the screen right now. Any second. Come on. I don't understand. Yeah, I did. Boom, let me see. Explorer, dude, you see? Boom. I'm gonna send you an invite. See if the invite comes to you, Nash. Man, this is the only shit that I'll be tight.
All right.
Here we
Oh
go.
man, my bad, bro. My apologies. You heard?
Yes,
I think
sir, Nah. As
we
long as
got it
we got
working
you
now,
on the
right?
screen. Yeah, you hear me, Nash?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. What's up? Well, hold on. Let me shut this
Yo.
off.
Yo, thank you so much for being on Graph Chance. First of all, I gotta start by saying it's a fucking honor, and I know you're such a humble person, but I gotta let you know, since I'm looking from the outside, you're a very, very big, important piece of this whole graph game. You're one of the puzzle pieces that if it was missing, the whole shit would be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And so you play a very important role, especially being a Brooklyn rider, because the Bronx got an ill lineup. We need all the dopeness from Brooklyn we can get. You know what I'm saying? And you one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, thank you so much, bro. It's an honor to have you on Graph Champs. You heard?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it, and but you I always got to give it to the first generation of writers, because without them, we wouldn't be here. And I never want to forget them. I never want to forget what they contribute. And what's up, A1s?
Yo,
And
that's a very
a lot
important and
of stuff
crazy
that I
statement.
do is a tribute to that. So if you notice, a lot of my styles is really an old style, and I keep it there, and it's actually for them. And I don't look at myself like that. I'm gonna be honest with you, because in my era, you had a lot of bombers that were doing their thing, and it was a rough time. It was a good time. It was the best time for us.
You know what? And me as growing older into an older man or whatever, and you look back on your graffiti career, I noticed this. A lot of people, like, you see me, I always used to be like, no matter how much I get up, I used to be like, yo, I wonder if this dude ever saw me up or that dude ever saw me up. Like, if they don't got fucking eyes like everyone else, that's how much we put people on a pedestal. You understand?
Yeah.
And you're one of them dudes to me. The same way that you say, yo, the dudes before me created it, you're one of the dudes that created it for me. That's why I'm so happy to have you here, bro.
Yeah,
So
thank you,
listen, just like Graph Chat Fashion, we're gonna start from the beginning.
man.
What got you into graffiti from the beginning, Nash?
I grew up. I was born and raised in East New York. So
Okay.
I was always surrounded by grass. Like, I laugh at my parents because when I was born, the apartment was on top of Euclid. I lived in Linden Plaza by the A yard. Like, trains was always around me, and I was always looking at it. And in junior high school was when I picked up my first marker. I used to write Rich 169, my real name Rich, with a number, because I remember seeing graphs when it had numbers. And I used to live on Hill Street at the time. And my neighbors, and I don't know if they're the original Rook and Note writers, but that's what they told me their tags were. And like, they taught me my first throw up and shit like that, and it took off. So I adopted the name Nash from the skateboard in 1982.
Wait. We can't skip all the way
Oh,
to that
okay,
part. We still got
okay.
to.
So it really
Wait.
started in '79 when I picked up my first marker.
1979.
Yeah, in
Woo! My
'79, little
God.
kid delivering newspapers, copping tags.
Yo, so tell these people. Yo, yeah, nah, he said it. Rich 171
No,
was it? Rich.
169, Rich
Rich
169.
169, his original name. No, because this is one of the dopest questions that I love to
Yeah,
ask, like how you got your tag or whatever.
yeah,
But we can't just skip to that because we got 1979. At least tell these people, give them how a little taste of, because the streets was rough in the 80s. So in 1979, let
yeah,
them know how it was.
yeah. But it was rough, but it was different. Like, we rode our BMX bikes. We were out at night. We ran through the neighborhoods. Like, I would chill in Grant as a young kid with my best friend from the block, just roaming around the streets. I think we were just brought up different. We were built different. We had wiffle ball. We had skelly. We had a lot of things to do in the streets. Even though it was bad, there was still a mutual respect amongst thieves. Um, in East New York, East New York, it was just worse in the '80s. You had crews like RCC crew running around doing anything. You had the Hardy Boys doing anything. You had, and this is me as a kid growing up, and I still remember those names to this day. I won't forget them. So as rough
So
as it was, we were able to maintain and function. I guess that's why us guys, like, nothing really phases us.
So, all right. So now, boom, it's 1979. You get your marker. You start writing just because you're a product of your environment, basically, right?
Yeah.
So now, who's at that point? Did you started seeing certain people that started influencing you? Like, oh shit, like I gotta be like this person because I see their name a lot.
I would walk down Liberty Avenue, bro, Liberty and Sheridan, and I never met any of these guys personally, but I remember seeing them, which was TNV crew, Bo, we, Zinc, writers like that, KC, rest in peace, KC. And actually, KC is why I'm doing this interview, to be honest with you, because once he passed, I'm thinking, damn, I used to look up to him as a kid, and he's gone. You know, everybody's time is coming, so it would be fucked up if I didn't share my story. You know, you had two RYs in East New York, Raleigh, and then you had
Raleigh, yup.
RY with CS. You know, so I actually saw Raleigh when I was a kid one day, tagging up the subway supermarket at like 4 in the morning and shit. I just watched him, and he was doing back-to-back RYs, and you know. So those guys I used to look up to. And then I would go on Crescent Street J train, you know, the station. I hop the train, get on there, and I used to look at the insides and see like PO, riders like that. There's so many names out there back in the day, man, that it's hard to remember all of them, you know. But
Yeah, so when I was coming up and I used to see niggas like you and everything, it was like superhero shit, like comic books, you know what I'm saying? It was like
right,
this dude is like Galactus, this dude is like Thanos, this, you know what I'm
right.
saying? Going by your ups and your reputation and shit. So who was the first dude you started writing with?
Well, you see, I started in East New York as a youngin', and once I adapted that name Nash, the Nash tag, I moved to Queens. So I'm gonna be honest with you. The story of Queens gave me my first blessing. It gave me my first layup, 36th Avenue. And how that happened was when I went to junior high school 204, I was tagging up in my book, and I didn't know there was a bunch of riders behind me. And when they saw me tagging, like, "Yo, you ride?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that's when I met Cass Ross, you know, from Astoria, the BBK crew. Basically, they introduced me to Sash, and it took off from there. Cass took me to my first layup, you know,
Wow.
and that was it. After that, it was on, you know. I met Zor. Zor, rest in peace, was my first partner in Graph, and we started killing shit. And then he ended up passing away. But you know, we had a pretty good run in the story of Queens. Eventually, I elevated it because I was trying to get to other lines, and I started writing with writers like Ripe Form.
Ooh.
You know, I met writers V1 and Expo from Woodside, Queens. So, you know, I always got to give Queens my love too. You know, but
I
I'll
didn't know
always
I
be,
didn't know you had no type of I didn't know nothing about your connection to Queens. That's
yeah, man.
crazy.
Queens 36th Avenue. That was my house. Like, I used to live there. It's where I met RD. I mean, if you listen to past interviews with RD 357, shout out to RD. He was bombing the
Yeah,
layup.
he speaks very highly of you all the time,
Yeah,
yo.
that's my
Salute to
bro. That's
357.
family, you know. I mean, it was fucked up how I met him. You know, I put a gap to his face, but that's what the time was. You know, like he's running through the layups, and I was hiding in the conductor booth when he came out. You know, was right. You know, we were on it like that back then. You know, it was you go on them layups, bro. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready. And
All right, so now we gotta go back. So you was writing what Rich what was it, 198?
169, Rich 169.
169. So now how you get into the Nash? How does the Nash come? Say the
Well,
story now.
when I met those riders on Hill Street, you know, and I was riding my skateboard, and I figured I wanted to change my name, and you remember the Nash skateboard? It was like a fucking regular wood
Yeah,
bullshit
it was
skateboard. I
wood
saw the
shit.
name Nash, and I took it from there, man.
Wow. From a
Yeah, I
skate.
took it from there.
That's fire.
And you want to get into the other tag yet, or?
Yeah, no, because that shit blew my mind because I didn't even know about that you was the same person with coming up and shit because I'm like, oh shit, Nash, but I didn't know about the old, you know what I'm saying, your other shit
Yeah,
until a few years later. I
yeah,
was like, oh wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But then I put it together as I get older because a lot of trained dudes that I interview, they have 2-3 names.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. You
So
try to
you
make
get
it
into the
easy, but
Nash, boom. Where did the BBK come from?
BBK was Stash's crew. And I believe BBK was created by his brother, but I don't know what his brother wrote. But I don't think his brother was big in the game. But Sash knew a lot of writers too, you know. So Sash, you know, brought me into the crew. But then all of us, you know, it was always me, Kes Ross. OH, which was Psy at the time, DI, TU, writers like that. And that was my first crew, and that was my only crew when I started. It was later on in life that I eventually, once I evolved and I got out, I got down with other families. But I'm talking 36th Avenue was a great layup because you could hit it day and night.
A
And
word.
so, you have writers that went to art and design. So a lot of writers would come to join. And I remember I met Sasha Dinkins from 36th Avenue layup. Sasha Dinkins used to like fucking watch me do fucking top to bottom OA throw ups on the train, daytime shit. Real cool dude, man. And actually a lot of writers don't know this. Rec MSD used to come through. Now when that's right, Rec MSD, rest in peace. Rec, when I met Rec there, originally from Brooklyn, it was always love. So he always had a pass to come through. And we did some shit together, man. We did some foul shit to writers. But that was my boy Rec, like, Nash, don't hit him, you know what I mean? But then he'll come back and get his cut, So that was my boy. And so a lot of writers don't know that I was originally thrown down with MSD crew by him, but I never pushed it. I never pushed it because it wasn't official to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he's an official dude, it wasn't my part of the team. You know what I mean? So that's why I never pushed the crew. Just like when
Did you ever meet Show? Did you ever meet Show MSB? Did you ever meet Show
had the
MSB?
pleasure of meeting Show, but I've heard of Show like the way you hear me. Show was an official dude. And he definitely had his ups, man. He did his thing. So, he's like a legend in Bushwick. Bushwick had a lot of writers. East New York had a lot of legendary writers. The Bronx got the Bronx. But let me tell you, man, we had some good fucking influences, bro. East New York got Dondi, bro. I can't say no more than that. You know what I mean?
Right, one of the Godfathers, you heard?
Yeah, like, and look how humble that dude is and stuff like that. Like, he was a great writer there. And believe it or not, I used to see a lot of Is the Wiz because he lived in Grant. Grant was like his territory, So, all much respect to Is the Wiz, rest in peace.
That's right.
And believe it or not, bro, even in East New York, Ilsick coming up.
Ilsick. I was gonna say Ilsick and RYCS, Raleigh, all of them.
Yeah. Like, so we have a lot of legendary writers that are underrated. But real people know who real people are. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So now, boom. How did cause you have different layers to your legacy and shit. So just being Nash, yourself, and the way people talk about you in the streets, like the way you used to handle yourself, that's one layer. Boom. Then you have the BBK aspect, which you just spoke about, some queens and all that. Then you have the U5 layer of you. How did that come along?
Well, U5 was actually the last family that I joined. Let's go back for a minute because I'm down with 501. You know what I mean? I've been down with 501 because I was living now from East New York. I've also lived in Bronzeville for a few years. I used to live in Tilden houses. That gave me the avenue, Utica, Kingston, North Street layups in the daytime, and that's when I met Foggs, Sign, Brea, Kosa, and that became my second one, Doug 167. I met Doug, and we started killing the number lines like crazy. And,
was you the type of writer that did you have like a ill photo album with all your shit?
You know what I did, and I gave away a lot, and I lost a lot. Like, I was benching in Bowling Green, and my mistake for having all my film on me. But when I was benching in Bowling Green, fucking Vandal Squad came and took my shit. They saw me taking pictures, and I had pictures of all that. When the 5 trains were ending, I was in Bowling Green. You can go back to back. You know what I mean? So I was taking pictures, and they ran up on me, and they not knowing who I was. They just saw me taking pictures, and they took it. So, what I'm gonna do, fight fucking Vandal Squad, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it. There's a ill Vandal Squad story later. We get to that later. But yeah, because
So
I got some shit for you. But so I 501 crew when I was bombing, being slick with hitting Halsey in the daytime. Rest in peace, Slick. And when we came out the hatch, Sony was walking to the store. So he was like, "Oh shit, this is how I met U5 crew coming out of fucking the hatch." And we
that's
started
funny.
kicking it. So, eventually I met up with RTD, and they threw me down with the crew, not knowing how big U5 crew really was. You know what I mean? Because they were big, bro. You're talking 5 chapters, but you have more fighters than writers. I gotta say that, because you got Bushwick, you got a lot of writers, then you got real writers. You know what I mean? That went all out, but you have a lot of fighters in that crew. And eventually, that I met GA, NSK. Shout out to GA, his brother Rad. I was with Kona. Me and Kona were bombing at the time too. Then we lost Slick. And once we lost Slick, I think me and U5 really clinged on. And then I met Audi. And when I met
Was Audi, by the time you met Audi, was he a big name? Because he's a super big influence on the
Audi
whole
was a
Bushwick
big
style
name.
also.
He's a tall dude. When you mention Audi, I had that. He's a unique rider. He's different. His style is different. It's not the same. His attitude is different. So I'll give you an example. Like, if there's a situation involved, he don't give a fuck, and neither do I. But I'll be like ready to jump. He'd be like, "Yo, no. He's the thinker of the crew. He's the Spock of Star Trek. You know what I mean? That's who Audi is. And then you got writers like with Ark and Nini and Sale and all these other dudes. Sale from Bushwick. It was a good mix. And but once we lost Sony, is when me and Audi really started bombing. So even though, like, they say I'm, there's chapters and there's vices. I'm vice to chapter 1, but I'm not. That's Sony. That's always gonna be Sony. I'm just there in his place. You know what I mean?
So chapter 1 is whose chapter?
Audi's chapter, the Hellbound chapter.
Hellbound.
And
Yeah,
so you got Audi's chapter is a
he used to
Hellbound
write
chapter.
that.
I think chapter 2 is Ark's chapter. GA No Joke Squad, RTD Hellraisers, and Task was chapter U5 back in the day. And I don't know what the motto for chapter 5 was, to be honest. My apologies. But yeah, so we had our own thing there. Now, in between those years, I'm rocking with 357 crew. I'm rocking with Fuck crew. Shout out to Bye. LC, rest in peace. So I used to chill out with Bye, LC, Checo, Chos, and G. I used to be on the block with them dudes. They used to have that block locked down.
Yeah, the nigga ran into Bye today. He ran into Bye right here today and shit, my man.
Yeah,
I know
he
it's
hit me up
backwards, but you
today.
see the nigga Bye's hit that shit. Salute to the whole fuck crew, you heard? Them niggas is another important.
Vic too. You know what I like about Vic? He used to bomb by himself, man. He'll get in his car and just bomb by himself in his bullshit little Hyundai back in the day, And he always did his fucking thing. Shout out to Vic too. We still contact, we keep tight. But the sick crew, you see all these families that I'm into, they're all like official Brooklyn families. So it's not always BBK and U5, because when I got into U5, I was already an established writer.
So who was the funnest person to bomb with?
Wow. I mean, there was adventures with all of them. I mean, me and Doug, when me and Doug were bombing the lines, it was the fives, and then we would hit the J's on 121. There was a time when I paused because I got into the money. You know what I mean? So Doug and Poez started killing shit, and then when I got back in, actually when I came, I would never forget. It was the daytime. I was with Doug, and we hit 121, and some workers came at us, and they tried to like get live with us, and we pulled out. So my first felony was with Doug because we pulled out on 7 work bumps, you know.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, and you know they got us by our names because the paint was still wet, and all 7 of them ID'd us, but they never got a gat or anything, you know. And we both kept it funky. We got probation for that shit, and we walked off. But with Doug, it was always graphing guns. With Kona, it was always now, you know, you talking rooftops, and you know we put in some work and some cold nights, man. Um, with Audi, it was always fucking. It was an adventure, but it was like a beefing. You got to be aware. You got to be like we did the A line, bro, and we walked those tracks from like Cross Bay all the way to the Rockaways. You know,
Wow, across the water and
yeah,
all
across
that shit.
the water. Like we were hanging off the bridge when the both trains came, and all that shit. Like we did some ill bombs like that. And, you know, in the midst of those bombs, we were never in our right state. You know what I mean? Because we had the good weed. Back then we had Palmetto and Evergreen, chocolate
Yes,
Tiger.
sir.
You know, we had, you know, then you had the mescaline kids on Liberty Avenue. They used to sell the tabs. So we would go bombing on tabs, bro. Like that was some serious shit. And then between that and bagging of cars, like we had graft and a lot of criminal shit going on, bro. You know, so it wasn't just like I was just writing with these dudes, bro. We were doing shit, and that's what made it an
Crime
adventure.
spree. Crime spree type shit.
Oh my god, but Fatal, me and Fatal, forget about it. We would bomb and have a different car every day. I'm known for cars so much that when Audi did his show, and mind you, I met Kes 5 when he was young. You know what I mean? When he was just starting. And when I saw him again in the Audi show, he looked at me and he goes, "Yo, I remember the day you drove me home in a Stoli." You see what I'm saying? Like I was known for cars, bro. Like I was like, out of all the shit I've done, that's the shit you remember. You know what I mean? But you gotta understand too, I missed a lot of graph also by doing
Yeah,
vid.
yeah.
You know, I went away for a long time. So when I went away and I came home, a lot of writers like you guys done took over. Like I could tell you when JA first started and how I met JA. I met JA through Sand, AW. And back then we used to call each other on the phone. When you have beef, you call on the phone, I'm gonna kill you or whatever. And so when he called me, I was like, yo, how'd you get my number? And he was like, yo, you know, I got it through Sand. And he said, you know, he's a street bomber, he wanted to bomb. And I'm not a street bomber. I don't consider myself a street bomber. But I took him to the A yards, bro. And we were smashing, bro. It was J.A. Smith, Doug, and me every weekend religiously, bro. And we were hitting the CCs, and we would go in on a Friday, and we would come out of there like the next day, bro. Like mad paint.
Yeah, but at this time when y'all doing it and shit, Smith was already a big writer, right? Right? Smith was already a big writer.
Yeah, man. Smith was
And
already there.
JA was he still had the other throw up that looked like a
Yeah, the
boot, like
Texas
the
boot throw up. Yeah, like
yeah,
he had the
yeah,
Texas
yeah.
boot throw up. But it was funny because I know we're going back and forth, but you know when since he wrote JA, I had the OA tags. Whoever we had drama with, we would just like do the O and the J and the O and the J. It went on and on. And it was a ritual that every time after a bomb, we just sat down on the stoop, we smoked a blunt, and was like, "Good job," you know. And uh, I don't know. After that, I went away and I lost track. of a lot of writers, you know. But so in the midst of that, between those stories, how I got OA, you know OH BBK, he used to write Side back in the day. Through him, I met Tess X-Men, you know, and one day was a New Year's. I can't tell you the year. It was in the 80s. We were getting lit, you know, fucking lit. And we were coming up with, yo, let's get a new name, blah, 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 this and that. Let's start the new year, blah, blah, blah. OA means overall. It's supposed to be for war and graphs.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
ooh. Overall, okay.
Overall, yeah. It became a stamp later in the day too, but that's another story. But so when we both came out. He came out with OH, I came out with OA, and it took off from there. And that's how I had the fucking beef with all the, you know, with the OA throw-ups. But we always wrote different styles too back then. So I think if you really like paid attention through the years, my tags are all different. It's never the same. Like today, what I see a lot of the same. People don't really change their style as much no more. You know, and the style is like kind of plain now. I noticed. Like if you go back then, you look at Rook tags. He always had the hook with the K. You had PO tags, PEO, that they didn't come out. You know, them shits were fly as fuck the way he did the PEO. It connected. So I kind of connected my tags together. I bring this up because if you look at you tag with the OA and the JA tags, they look the same. But you got to remember we were bombing together. So that's how that came
Yeah,
about.
that's Matt. What do you like doing better, the OA or the Nash?
The OA is faster. I could do that in seconds. I like the Nash tag. The Nash tag, I got more style with it. You know,
Get
I got a
looser with
style
it.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's real quick. I can show you. I can show you because I did it. Like you can see. I don't know if you can see all the differences.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
See
I can
all
see. I
these
like
are different. Like from years to come. So
the evolution of the writing, the
yeah, yeah.
hand. That's what it
You gotta
is.
grow with your shit.
Evolution.
But you know, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't like piecing. You
Me,
had to do it.
I don't like piecing. To me, it's just a waste of paint and time. I like to bomb. I like to, you know what I'm
But you
saying?
know what? But you had to do it to you know to stay in it to show that you can do it. So with piecing, I never sketch, never sketch. It comes out
Freestyle
the
every
way it comes
time.
out. If I make a mistake, you got to learn how to fix it. But I'll always consider myself as a bomber. I love to bomb.
That's what you're known as, a bomber,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I'll be a bomber. It's the reason why I ask anybody. I won't do a permission wall. I won't even do a permission tag. I'm not about the barbecues and the walls. Respect to people, you know, guys who put in their work. No offense to them. It's just, you know, that's not me. I
Do
can't
you
do it.
have do
I
you
won't
have
even sell a canvas. I won't sell a canvas. I'll give you a canvas. You know what I mean? Because I'm not in it for the money. If I need money, I get it differently. My graph is my graph, you know?
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Do you have like a favorite spot that you always was like, yeah, nigga, I did this. Like a favorite spot that you hit?
But we, you know, we had the U5 freights. And the freight was always a good spot. But I had to go back. It was the Queens by the Queensboro Bridge, the pit. You know, that was a good spot to go to. Um, other than that, not really. If you talk about spots, it's layups, and that'll be Grant. I love Grant.
Grant
Yeah, I
layup.
love Grant, and I'll tell you why I love Grant. Not only is it unique, the history. There's so much history, and I never really heard anybody talk about this about Grant. But there's a section of it that there's a catwalk, and there's a hatch door that you can open up, and it has an old original map in that room, but you can't get it off the wall. But it was there, you know. And I hit Grant for a long time. I used to go with Nam 501. Shout out with Nam. Before he was a big dude, Nam was this little dude that he would scare me in the layups because he was so dark. No offense. He would close his eyes and be in the middle of the trains, and I'll be walking all of a sudden. Yo, what's up, Nash? Scare the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? But there was a lot of writers that used to go there, man. Grant would be not my number one spot.
What about when trains now they're ending, boom, and now the transition to streets was what? How was you feeling when that was
Well, when
happening?
that happened, I continued hitting trains, even the new ones when they first started coming out. Like I didn't do it like Risk Crew, you know what I mean? But not on the outsides, but I was killing the insides on the J. And my beef was with Vandal Squad at the time, so I used to write messages to them. I fucked your mother, blah blah blah, fuck you, all this shit. Yeah, I used to leave my beeper number on there. Call me faggot. What. They used to take pictures of that shit. Actually, they took pictures of all the J Line rooftops and all the insides, and there was a reward for it for my conviction and arrest. Now, there was a time that we hit Astoria. We went in the daytime. Remember, all the trains are like new now. And I was set up, bro, because they had these, there wasn't these old Vandal squads. They were young Vandal squads. And we saw them jumping into the layup. And when we were all running, I hung on this light pole. This is on 30th and Grand. And there was a kid, not the RO you see bombing the streets now. We had a neighborhood kid that wrote RO. And I remember running across the tracks, and this cop didn't even call me by my name. He was like, Richie, you can't get away. And I was looking like, what the fuck you mean? So when I got onto the light pole, it was weird because RO stepped. I said, yo, get your own pole. And he stepped on the light. Dude, I don't know how I did it, but I was hanging from the light pole. I swung down, slid down the pole, and before the no parking sign, I let go and hit the floor. RO slid down the pole. The sign caught him by his pants. He was hanging upside down. And I went to go get him, bro, but the cops were like right there. I couldn't do it. I was on probation. I ran. You know what I mean? I went back in the store and went home. You
Oh
believe
shit, you got
fucking 4 hours later,
away.
bro, man, he was with Vandal Squad in front of my house, bro. Yo, Vandal Squad was chasing me for like a month. And they had us on video flipping cans and smoking blunts on our stoop. Me, PR, Zap, all of us. Like, and every time I would see them, I went into car chases with these dudes. And when they couldn't catch me, they would go to lane and beat up my people. You know what I mean? Like, where you at? The hustlers on the corner were like, bro, we can't make money. These dudes are there. You know how they got me? Going to court for a car case. They were like, this is an illegal arrest. And they're like, this is the only way we can catch them. Long story short, when I went in front of the judge, they couldn't prove that I was Nash. And that's how I beat the case. And you know what? When they locked them up, they locked me up. Fucking Kona sends donuts to the precinct. Because back then, you would call the cops with the donuts and shit. So the cop was like, yo, your boy just gave us a bunch of donuts. And I started laughing. Kona. But yeah, they couldn't prove I was Nash at the time, and the case got dismissed. I'm like, Your Honor, you think I would risk my life sliding on a pole? Bro, I had my guardian angel with me that night. You know what I mean? Because I remember hearing a lady scream. I'm hanging from the fucking pole,
Yo,
That's
that's
one of my Vandal
hard.
Squad stories. And you know what? Brooklyn couldn't even catch it. They had to call Vandal Squad from the Bronx. Tom and Jerry. The
They
infamous
called Tom
Tom and
and
Jerry.
Jerry.
I'm
They
not
got Tom
forgetting
and
that.
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. And when they got me, they told me in the car, they opened a book. And I don't know if anybody ever tell you, they used to have a book every time they caught a rider. And there was the BBK page, bro. And I was the only one without a picture in that page. You know what I'm saying? So finally they put the picture. And they were like, bro, you were going to get beat down. They told me, we were going to beat your ass. He goes, but for some reason, bro, we respect you. You know what I mean? And they just took me to court then.
That's retarded. You got any crazy stories with RD?
When I met those guys are crazy in itself, bro. I met JJ, RD, and the crew, and they were, like Manhattan based, and JJ is known for bikes and shit like that. We used to hit, I think it was 53rd Street. I name it 53rd Street, but they had a tunnel there that they all used to bomb at. I do have some stories. just trying to remember them, you know. He could tell you more than I can. But when I wrote with RD, I was bombing. We have writers from Jersey, Sayer and Smalls, that used to come out and write with us. Ripe, I don't know if you ever heard RP. Ripe used to come out with us.
Of course, old school throw.
Yeah,
RP.
RP. Yeah, with the bottoms, you know. I bombed with RP hard, bro. Hard. We did a lot of bombs together. He's also another underrated Queens writer, man. Because that dude had the lines like crazy.
Or that throw.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give you one with RD, but it's not really graph related. But I don't know if you remember when they first started delivering weed, and you would call up and they would bring it to you, right? So this dude comes in a bus with an ounce, and I give him a fake address. We planned this whole shit out. So this guy comes and he puts the ounce in my hand. And I'm like, yo, let's walk because I don't want my moms to come home and see us. You know, he's like, yeah. So he's going on and on about the weed, and we were slowing down, we were walking, all of a sudden he's in front of us, and I spun and ran. And when he went to chase us, RD let loose his dog, you know? And the dog went after the guy. And then you know, he was like, yo, those guys just robbed me. RD said, oh, I didn't know what was going on, blah, 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 whatever the case. And so after that, we met up in RD's crib and we split it up and did our thing. You know, but we used to go to RD's house, man. Like, I know, you know, RD's mom's was the best. May she rest in peace. She used to curse me out. I used to fucking yell his name. Yo, RD, you know. She would come out, Rob, your fucking spick friends are here, you know what I mean? Because they're hardcore Irish lady, you know. And she would curse us out, and RD, I'll be down in a minute. But, you know, we had a lot of car stories. We had a lot of bombs together, too. I took them to Brooklyn. And, I remember first taking them to Brooklyn. They were like, what the fuck is that? I took them, like, towards Bronzeville by the L line in the 80s. You know what I mean? So he was, like, in another world. Like, and living in Bronzeville at the time, you know, I was always ready for it. But it was wild. It was wild.
You still got old school rooftops living on the J line and
That
shit
one
like that.
rooftop,
Classic,
man. Yeah.
classic. It's so classic.
Yeah,
yo.
and you got Ash next to it. You know, speaking of Ash, rest in peace, man. You know, I was in Elmira with Ash.
A word.
And, oh my God, when I got to Elmira, first of all, HD got locked up before that, and I haven't seen him in a long time. So HD, free HD, man. You know, my little man, he's doing something right now, but we're working on it. But you know, he was a little skinny dude, and then years go by, and I see this diesel motherfucker. Yo, what up, Nash? And I'm like, who's that? I didn't have my glasses. He said, you know who it is? I said, yo, see me in the mess hall then. You know what I mean? Like, when I got to the mess hall, it was HD. And then I go by to get my tray, and who hands me my tray? Ask. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What the fuck are you doing here? You know what I mean? So it was me, Ask, Rebel NSA, shout out to Rebel.
Wow.
We were all chilling in Elmira together, man. And you know, Ask, Wild Child, I had to get him home. You know what I mean? I didn't want him in trouble. He was always like with the fist and shit. And he was about to go home. I was like, bro, he knocked out some dude in the armory, and he caught his 30 days. And I'm like, don't even worry about commissary, my nigga. I got you. But every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, he's on the gate. Nash, Nash. And they're like, yo, shut up. He's like, yo, fuck you. You know, I miss that motherfucker, bro. You know, I held Zexor when he was a baby, man. You know what I mean? Like, just rest in peace, Zexor. I love that dude. It's just, you know, you got two legendary writers right there, man.
Father and son. That's
son, bro. Yeah, that's not. I think I saw Zexor at the Audi show too. Last time I seen him, always humble with me. Actually, I saw him on the 7 train. I was with my family, and he was like, "What up, Nash?" I was like, "Oh shit." That was
what was your favorite part about bombing? What was it? When you started hitting streets, did you, when you hit streets and rooftop, was it the same feeling as hitting a yard or fucking
no
layup?
not at all, not at all. You can never compare it, man. You know,
Never.
no. There's a love with the trains, and I don't mean just the graph. I mean, any real train rider, you go into those layups, you hear the motor kick in, the smell, the incognito that you had to be to get in there. I mean, we were jumping on the roofs, hiding under the trains when we had to, you know, chilling out, smoking in the cars. I even banged out in the train car. Like we we lived in there, bro. That was our life. Like Graph was our life. If you went into our houses and you opened our fucking food cabinet, there was paint in there. You know what I mean? Like, there was paint everywhere. And we
What
had
about
this,
racking?
huh?
What about racking?
I was just
You
about to
getting
tell you about racking, bro. Racking was another adventure, but I had this rack thanks to Sayre in Emerson, New Jersey. So easy. And you remember pergaments back in the day, right? They had a pergament out there. I got cool with the workers, bro. And the workers like to get high. So, like when you go behind the store, like where the lumber and the plants are, I would bring my duffel bags and put them under the fence. Then I would walk in the store. I had the workers looking out for us. We would fill up the duffel bags, then put them in the back, walk out the store, and then grab the bag. Or we would fill up the shopping cart, and Doug would be on the other side, and I would just tip the shopping cart, and all the cans would roll under. And fucking he'll fill up the other car. We will break out. We're talking over 200 and somewhat cans in the shop. Like, we burnt those stores. I took JA out there one time, and I told JA, I'm looking around the store, I see security. Me and Doug hit the store hard before. So I'm like, yo, bro, put your shit away. It's not good. But he had already back racked his cans. He didn't want to give it up. So I walked out. Doug walked out. We're waiting for JA. All of a sudden, the cops came. We see JA in cuffs. Like, fuck.
damn.
We're walking the tracks. They got us. So we're stuck in Emerson, New Jersey. All right.
Uh,
And nobody assigned us out of jail. Nobody ever. So JA had to call his pops. His pops came out from New York City. And, he got him out. And then I'll never forget this, not knowing who his pops was. But he was like, I'll sign you guys out. But the deal is I got to tell your parents. And we were like, bet. He signed us out because we were young, And as we're going home, he pulled over by a certain area of the tracks because we already had paint. So he let us grab our bags of what we got. We get in the car. He goes, okay, where am I dropping you guys off? I say, East New York, Brooklyn. Bro, when that dude crossed the bridge, he told us to take the train home. He wouldn't even try to East New York.
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I got caught there with over 200 something cans too by the bus stop because sometimes the cops will see us by the bus stop and they'll be like, what are you doing here? You got a receipt for this? Took me a day and a half to get that shit, man. And this is when Krylon was Krylon and Rusto was Rusto. So imagine I had a bag full of Rustos. My favorite colors would be baby blue and burgundy. But
Ooh.
we had all the colors. And they just took it, bro. I was tight, man.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. But I had no shame in my game. I'd be with a baby carriage and putting paint inside the baby carriage and walking out. Like, that's how it was back in the day. You should be quiet, honey. I used to put the shit on top of the carriage with a blanket and walk out. Or we used to body
Yo,
rack, just body rack it with a housing jacket. I don't know if you remember the big New York City housing jackets. So my father worked for housing. So I would put that on and I could put 7 cans in my back like nothing and walk out.
that's
So,
crazy. That was one thing that it was people don't understand. To be in there was a 24-hour
it was
thing you had
a
to do.
mission.
Rack paint, go bombing. Rack
Yeah.
paint, go bombing.
I got caught with a mouthful of GIFs one time. That was fucked up, bro. From the spray and wash, And they just made me put them all back. But yeah, it was a job. How to cut your caps to make them fat. It was hard. You try finding those Dro 2 roach spray cans with the Ridgy red indents. Those are beautiful for Krylon. But then they started fading away. Just like the inks were fading away, the Flow Masters and all that shit. I started with Pilot ink. It was later on in life that I learned about Garvey and Marsh.
When
But I used to
you
have a
first started, you was doing straight insides only. What you was
motion
doing when you first
bombing. I
started?
was motion bombing when I was younger, you know, until we got to Astoria. And then we used to bag the erasers from school and the band roll on and make our markers that way. But in Queens, there was a print shop that had gallons of ink. It was a weird type of ink I used to get. And they used to leave this window open, and we used to crawl in the window, and we wouldn't rob the whole thing. We would take like 2 or 3 gallons at a shot so we can keep hitting it and hitting it. And I used to sell those gallons for like $20. And it was like a flat black and blue based ink. Me and JJ, rest in peace, JJ 357, we hit the spot one day, one night, and it was an alley where you climbed through. So we had the ink on us, and we came out, and the cops were coming. And he's like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" He was like, "Calm down." He goes, "Stash the ink." So I dropped the bag behind a beam. He's like, "Hold my hand." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yo, bro, just hold my hand. They're gonna keep walking." I had to hold the motherfucker's hand, and they laughed at us and drove off. I was like, "Oh shit, it worked." And we fucking went. We got the ink.
That's rough.
Fucked up.
So yo, now I gotta pick your graffiti brain.
All right,
I gotta ask you the hard questions
all right.
now. Who's your top 10 favorite street bombers of all time? Your favorite?
OETMD.
Ooh, wait, hold on. I gotta write this down.
All right.
Ooh, OE, yes.
Cap
Go ahead.
FBC.
Ooh, cat.
I like Cap because he
Okay.
didn't give a fuck back in the day, and he just did what he did. Test X-Men, as I mentioned
Okay.
before, for insides would be POSIS crew, and John 156, bro. John 156 used to do these fucking throws. He just took the whole train with the same avocado green. And it was like a slap in the face, you know. I had to give him credit for that, man. You know, and that's really who I can remember for being like. There was so many, you know. I can mention Rasta with his style and Trini tags, and you know, there was just so much going on in them days.
What about the throw ups? Who got the dopest throw ups?
Well, Test X-Men had the real unique throw up, just like KPWR. They were before their time, you know. Those Ks were pretty dope. Of course, OE had the illest throw up to me. That E was phenomenal. Uh,
Yes.
so that I would say those were my tops there.
Do you look at graffiti now?
I'm a truck driver, bro. I see graffiti all the time, and I do pay attention. I see who's up in the streets and who's doing what. And,
do,
you know, I'm seeing the
do you see
repetitiveness. And,
who do you see right now like that
yo, you
off
know
top
what?
that's killing
I gotta
shit?
give it. I gotta get. And I never met these dudes, but I always give credit where credit is due, man. And ACC crew been putting in work for a long time, and they're still consistent, bro. You know what I mean? Like they're very consistent. Neta and Nilo, they got throw ups, that nice solid throw ups. You know, you can tell they're not in a rush with their shit. They take their time. You know, DE3 is tearing up the city. Shout out
Hell yeah,
to
from
D357.
Harlem everywhere,
You
all the way
know,
down. I see the whole
yeah, I see a lot of gold throw ups. I see GNS doing those big top to bottom throwies on the construction walls. That dude Flash, he's all over the place. You know,
flash.
and
Yeah.
if I got it right, I see a lot of the Joji throw-ups, Joji, if I see
Yep.
that
Joji,
correct.
yep.
You know, and believe it or not, a lot of I'm in Long Island, so I see a lot of Long Island graph, and these guys, they're doing their thing, bro. They're bombers. They're heavy hitters out here. Yo, shout out to AU Mob. You know, writers like AV, OD, Nebo, Dude Gator. It's like the tradition is still alive and expanded, you know? So I
Word.
appreciate that. I handed out my book and they blessed my book lovely, man. So you know,